Mame fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Why? It doesn't matter the stage. What I say. So that is it. And back to KT Hamond. I think say you can say obi a leader, and I say when you hold a sensitive position like being a member of parliament and then I say for normal, you are supposed to demonstrate civility and at least okasa some decorum must be accommodated. Sabi a man for who say, oh indeed, we are paying. But you get it to a level where Panimfua, you entrust this a part of the estate to them, to their care. We've given them all that it takes to ensure that challenges are addressed, begin to talk like Sebi it's a bit frustrating because we had a reaction now corner. Was it you to know Afum? Because they booed at the president, which to me the reaction was to a certain extent is a bit justifiable relative to the kind of economic situation I get home. It is a youth now from coming from that particular background. It is assumed that at least you are a bit enlightened, you are a bit civil as compared to youth now who say coconut. So you are supposed to demonstrate certain sense of civility, just to tell them say that is not the way to react. But a Penino talking in a reckless fashion, just like he did. To the extent that any Peninikas, I don't know if they know or no West. But I'm telling you, say, and he went ahead to say, Ghana or mine, you to no Kasa. Now, baby, we are Sabah, say, ye giant mine, they say you to no, sir. They can't do anything. And they don't even know anything about administration. That's what I'm saying, sir. We are still dealing with folks like analog leaders in a digital world. They are still stuck in that medieval stage. Mufi say, we are penina, that is enough for you to lead, and that is it. Whether you have wisdom, whether you have intellect, whether you have wit, whether you have what it takes to calibrate whatever the machinery be or minor the fact that penina me wo emi wo mitiswa quite in there, that is enough. And that is the kind of your friend is saying mentality some of these people have. He's telling you say you to know knew what it takes to fix this particular country, but go to the global arena where the world has evolved. Leadership, my culture say at this point, it's an art, a fine art that as time goes on, you can make it better, infuse a lot of ingenuity and other stuff. So countries have gone to the extent of bringing in a lot of youth to man various administration. Go to the world stage, you find people who are 35 years as president, you find 29 as president, you find 32. Go to countries, big countries like Australia and other places. Sensitive position are being entrusted to the care of young folks, because you see, at that age, you are able to do a lot of things, take risk, take decisions. You are able to do a lot of things. So I think that being young and as being a younger person, and yet disincentive so as far as government and administration is concerned. But it's unfortunate that you're part of the world, and I yet say. So these are primitive standards we've set for the society. But when you talk about leadership, it has absolutely nothing to do with who has money or who has many houses and stuff. It is about having the mind. The last time I was telling you about this young guy, I'll be a US president, I'm friend say Obama. Ade Obama, they wore Americans a fine speech and how he was able to express himself. I'm going to say, there is something in this guy. People were not asking about the many houses at our Miami or many properties at our. It is about the depth of his intellect, the knowledge, and the fact that he will be able to profess alternative that will be able to address the many challenges America is facing. Macron is a young guy. These are things that you look out for. But we live in an environment we are still consumed by primitive sentiments, and we think ansana obi yade to me better and just a when you know about deciding and so forth. But we've forgotten about the many challenges that even come with old age. We do old age. Those of us, I told you I specialized in mental health. The Friday be senile dementia and a whole lot of challenges. There are some become delirious, some just like omulusu touch with the reality. And I think that is the point we are. The many old folks we have assembled to run this particular country, many of them have lost touch with the reality. That is why sometimes problem no bar. The answer no mama addressing the challenges, but when I off bar, what I said. problem now ba the ordinary person, even the kindergarten akora no kra fe na onyini no say ade we dey ni si anka yi we ni si ana yi but panyina wanyini they dey to me asha nensa no the way a manner he's talking no oti ana we yamahye one day you begin to ask yourself say akora na kasa na panyini ba we kom na panyina sabi wanyina hold sensitive position so I know now a community into the kind of frustration you see in the youth or more kasa the way people are talking because I'm telling you politics in Accra 2000 politics in Accra 2004 politics in Accra even 2020 is different today. Those days, you know, the narrative was reserved for few guys on the traditional media and certain individuals, self-acclaimed political activists and whatever, because of the obedience in radio. So they try to control the narrative in the way that will look good for whichever government that is in power. If it is NDC, you better come NDC for any just say yes, yeah, Jumamamo, I MPP, yeah, Kama, yeah, Jumamamo. So behind the scenes, they go for their cut, but the new media has ballooned the platform. The interface is large. That is why if you go to various social media platforms, there are people putting up various platforms, trying to whichever way, whether you think they are doing right or wrong. You know? It's a form of enlightenment because I think what is key at this point is being able to enlighten majority of our folk. Because it's one of the reasons I don't because of lack of information. I don't want to talk about illiteracy because where we are is a challenge. And say to me, I'm a people and people become enlightened. I think the many challenges you face NDC and MPP posed to us, you know, we'll be able to address them because I keep telling people that if you go to the United States of America, they have 2 political parties, UK 2 political parties, and there are other larger economies. All they know is 2 major political parties, but because they have enlightened civil minds out there who will subject power workers to critical and intellectual scrutiny. At the end of the day, you know, so who you stand for power? You may be say we are kind and as we are penny and as we are vote any. They will look at what you have, what you can offer. So you do that particular stage now. So so people will not look at the fact that you know I can for and I want to for. They will look at him, his policies, his measures, some of the initiative or the other. Now say minor. That will be the only thing that will inform our political choices. You do that level, I'm telling you, say, the system will reset by itself. System will never click it to its default position. That is why I prioritize political education and political enlightenment over any other considerations. Young political party, young saying as a phenomenon. Ghana solution, you know, and young political party as a more. It is about enlightening the people because so what political party now for Jesus by the president. He's coming to rule the same folks. The mentality, the psyche is sick. So why don't you try to recalibrate or reset the psyche? Not gonna be conscious and obvious. Then they approach politics from a very rational perspective. It is no emotions attached, no partisan affinity and affiliation, no your friends say tribal and ethnocentric centric affinity, some kind of consideration be but pure policies, initiative there now offer there never see you do that stage. We will get to where we are, but we continue to rely on folks like Hamond and Asafo who have outlived their usefulness within this political space, but they are there because they are clutching on to the straws of NDC and MPP. They are popular within the party. Going forward, and I think let us begin to arm people who have what it takes to lead, not because any panel, not because any panel say. Just look out for certain qualities in an individual. Now, army or more, every stage, it doesn't matter where the person belongs to across the your friends say across the political divide or the kind of ideological you will be any panel will be no. See, you put competent people at various positions. Trust me, you better get a result. That is what we need to do so that we will move over and I say beyond characters like Hamond and as a former outlive or more usefulness. I'm not sure it is important to waste time on them because when it came to the dress shape, and when you're on a content committee and so I think that those people you need to ignore them.
Okay, yeah, sure. What happened there? No, couldn't the president have seen say maybe I'm Ukui and I said state protocol, national security, and man pick intelligence, maybe a presidency.
That's Margaret Miller? Clever.
Kind of something. Say your plan to say you could be president because it wasn't a political movement. I didn't say anybody. So the national security couldn't have picked any intelligence. So those who have started bashing the national security then as a problem, people didn't go there with a preconceived motive. Say you could president. A lot of I'm told that many of them didn't even know say the president no quite about. What I say. So it wasn't anything that would be a plan to say you because your plan to say you could president. That is when you gather intelligence. What I say. But it is something that was spontaneous, that evolved out of the crowd, just like that. So there was no way the national security. So more photo national security said there no. Obian planet. When the president took the stage, and they look at him and they look at the many promises, he admits nothing but failure. He became a poster boy of a failed state. And when you see, he admit frustration, he admit hopelessness, he admit like anger. And that is what translated into the action among 4 years on. So I think that the most crucial and the most intelligent thing to do at this particular point in time for people, the bootlickers and the sycophants who always want to sing praises to the president, to sit him down and tell him, Olumai, baby, you do the grounds on you. Ghanaians are really angry. And the reaction, should be a wake-up call. Say at least we need to move beyond partisan politics and partisan justification and try to at least address the many challenges. We live in a country at this point, your destiny in IMF. So President Kasa, IMF program no. Finance Minister Kasa, IMF program no. Parliamentarians no opportunity, IMF program no. If you go to the public space, Ghana for the Yadrin, you understand the IMF no. So how can the entire estate be left at the mercy of a financial of a Bretton Woods institution? And ask yourself, this is our 17th time to say IMF no SCVUA. And then get 17th time. So at this time, Obia Bamabu hoping says something will be done. No, you're hoping your IMF and IMF in the touch you're saying 3 billion.
No, I 11 billion.
Yeah, 11 billion national. COVID-19 by Sika Bao Chroma, the Biamaka and Pessimist. So IMF na kasa Emma $1 billion as a special drawing for being a member of the fund. And challenges are bar as a way to help countries to mitigate the challenges. I'm giving you special drawings, 1 billion. Me say there are some countries that are entitled and be seen the monk of fire or more because they have other priorities. Yet they never told man I can for that $1 billion. Okoyi yana no sanko bob was another $1 billion from the same IMF through rapid credit facility. You remember? Said 2 billion.
2 billion.
World Bank country director saw my saying $930 million. And he said in the history of World Bank, no single financial year you must such huge sum of money to any country, to this particular country before. So these are monies which came this outside the end of the year. What are the policies and measures, the initiative of government here? Investment Ben Akufo-Addo buy yes, investing. The free SHS that became the poster program on the table. Look at the current state, the challenges going on, and even you didn't say amount of money by in a state, or the shame. What I say, and if you look at the many challenges that are evolving, because my culture is a policy, ya men home and the buyer, your promises say the free SHS, but which I told you is a very nice policy, which we could have accommodated ourselves some time. Engage stakeholders, larger stakeholder engagement with critical stakeholders in education and other people, political opponents, whichever, just to strike certain consensus. They'll be able to weave the policy alternative as to how we can roll it out in a very comprehensive fashion. Yenya challenges. But President Baya Patapa or some media Macasa free teachers and one and baba. Young men who even a teacher for no crime stakeholders would do we know. Ya more money. You saw the complaints that they were complaining. Over Casani na transfer local kurase. So at some point they all kept quiet and then the free teachers was rolled. Omuro ya numbers increase here and who says I say accommodation in the whole. And cry we are not able to serve we are not package so because dining why so you begin to ask yourself say how do we get things done in a manner results when we begin to think we are thinking in a haphazard manner instead of saying near manner we are rather thinking in a haphazard manner no we are thinking in a haphazard manner no how will your actions be actions action will be far reaching and far more consequential about damning effect on all aspects, and that is what we do.
Sure.
So baby, I wanted there are challenges. You don't blame anybody. They need to accept the fact that Ghana for lose trust and confidence in Akufo-Addo and his government, and some are kind. It's a vote of no confidence in his administration.
Sure.
And as all Cotanasi, then Nippon will try to wish ya or more cancer made that children. No, this is the time a young wife crooning in Chile. I can't say, I say, a could I die a 9 and I there be a yet bandage at the faso. And the Uhua a hot crone a look nice, but beneath the bandage, beneath the bandage, there is a wound. And I nurse. That is what we need to do. So I think it's a wake up call for them to at least do things right.
Okay. What do message 0503 236 735 0503 236 735 na yencheche enkomo ene anopi ewo show no so bomodia say what do message be 0503 236 735 message ni bi aba mekan wo show no so na kai say we are live on Facebook too at Active TV Ghana and YouTube at Active TV GH. You can also follow us on TikTok at Active TV GH, on Instagram at Active TV Official, and then on Twitter is also Active TV GH. Nani in Komo www.myactiveonline.com suburawa stories are akoso na watch mu nyina enne ndra de in fact nyina a comprehensive report nyina ewo ho nti bomodia say obedi echi ewo say social media handles nyina mabo Ivan ewa ha ye twen komo afa nsem akoso na watch mu Ghana ha na ye hwe akaka maybe phone lines no enter bia in the next let's say in the next 5 to 7 minutes maybe phone lines na you know actually komo and anopi ewo show so mamen call back to Ivan na me be say Monday no na IMF officials be do chrome ha endra Minister of Finance a press conference na asema baakwa waka say they are going to make sure say the IMF no deal no is fast tracked so that we can have let's have a quick bite on that.
I think that is a joke of a statement coming from a finance minister who has run this particular country down. He has run this particular economy to the ditch, and he has no moral justification to be talking the way he's talking. IMF program, no? Yes, it is at his own interest to speed up negotiation because the economy at this stage is rather deteriorating, it's rotten. So it is in his interest to do something at least to manage the situation.
Okay, is it because Fitch Asan downgrading from CCC to CC?
Yes, because the economy is deteriorating. Aside that, then I feel the pansam. So quickening the IMF intervention, coming to save him, not us. And he said, yeah, Ghana for Humbertono. I think that is that animal culture said these people have lost touch with the reality. 3 million at least me say at least I say when me say kind of negotiation no crunch say $3 billion. Look at the current state of Ghana's economy and go back and ask yourself the amount of money about Krum has saying the sika ya bobosia the many state assets the capital market assets access to sika ya COVID-19 inflows and as for NASA, in the face of all this amount of money about Chrome Hanin, Ghana ni one tono. Now, the economy, no, you are running into the ditch, and the economy is in the bunkers. And that this guy is telling you that $3 billion IMF being infused into the economy, no, the guy is disillusioned. He has lost touch with the reality. As a wujina ring ma o kontokwa. Na ya bow this na wunhu de. That is what he's doing. Why confused? Because I was expecting say IMF negotiation is going on. Yes, we are progressing in our discussion, but on our part as government, these are the measures we are putting in place to ensure say also on our part, you know, something will be done to breathe certain fresh air into the economy. Did you hear any of such this thing from him? Because they have no clue, they have no plan, they have absolutely no intervention to address the challenges we are facing.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.